everybody. Welcome to TOEFL class. And yeah, sit down, let's get started. I know we have a lot of work to do, so let's get started now. Okay, it's going to be a busy day. We're focusing on a lot on the agenda as I was preparing a lot on the curriculum today. Yeah, I know. We're going to be focusing on listening, speaking, and writing. We're going to get on reading on tomorrow, but let's get on this. We're going to get on listening strategies, recognizing a detailed question, and then we're going to get into content relationship, and specifically the content relationship questions, getting into our content of what's happening, the key terms and how they relate to the main idea. All right, and that's really important. The content of the main idea in TOEFL is very important when we're trying to figure out what are the speakers saying, because you're going to have a situation where you're going to have two speakers talking, and then the prompt is going to ask you, what did that person say? So we're going to have to go back. We're going to go back into our notes and how to take notes. It's going to be a really special day on this one, because I've devised a method on how to take notes. I mean, I see a lot of people in our previous times when you guys are doing your warm-ups, and many of you are just looking at each other and you're not really taking notes. I know who you are, right? Okay, so we're going to work on some methods on how to take some notes. And also, we're going to look at the listening strategies, do some practices, practicing on how to properly listen. And I have an example of a service encounter conversation, and also a lecture with the service encounters, along with the service encounter. And then we're going to get into some speaking strategies, particularly task 1 and task 2 and task 3. The independent task, persuasive, the integrated task of reading and lecture, and the integrated task of conversation. Okay? I really want you guys to pay close attention to the actual note-taking aspects of the reading and lecture. All right? And we're going to apply that when we're getting into groups today. Okay? So it's really important when you guys are doing it. When you get into groups, we're going to apply these things. So I'm going to teach you how to do it, and then we're going to get into our groups, and we're going to apply. Okay? All right. And the next thing we're going to work on we're going to combine the speaking strategy practice of 1, 2, and 3 of our tasks. And I also mentioned we're going to get into some writing strategies. I basically want to get into the details aspects. Okay? Task 1, integrated skills of reading and lecture. You're going to read a passage, and also you're going to hear a lecture based upon that information that's in that passage, and how to synthesize that information. You know the word synthesize? What is synthesizing? Good. Synthesizing, which is basically you're getting the information and you are interpreting that information. Good job. Okay. And then the second task, task 2, which is the independent writing task. Okay. The independent writing task, they're going to ask you a question, which is basically, it's like the speaking task of task 1. They're going to ask you a question that's based upon a topic that you should know about and you're going to write about. How long is that? Yeah. About 30 minutes. Okay, about 30 minutes. So you're gonna have about, I'm gonna give you about 5 minutes to get your notes together, and then you're gonna have about 25 minutes to start writing things down on paper, okay? And we're going to work on that in the computer room, okay? I think that's really important to get used to working on the computer. Because since the TOEFL is an IBT test, I think that's really paramount. When I say paramount, what's that? Important. Good, good. Good job, guys. All right. You're really staying on top of things. Okay, so let's move on. All right. And let's start up with what's the next thing we're going to do. We're going to get right into, before we get into listening strategies, I want to get you guys right in, get your heads into speaking. And, we were last week when I had you guys speaking, there was some nervousness going on, right? When you saw the clock, I had the clock up, and a lot of people were fidgeting, a lot of people were talking too fast, a lot of you were, I know you weren't really, I know the clock can add a lot of pressure to it. This is why we add the clock in our class, because it's really important to add the clock in our class so that it'll be second nature and it's not going to bother you when you're actually applying the TOEFL in the actual TOEFL IBT. Okay, so keep that in mind. We're going to be working on the TOEFL with the clock every time we're doing the speaking section. Okay. Now, once again, let me ask you, how long for the speaking section? How long is the prep, and how long is the actual speaking for task 1 and 2? Prep. 15 seconds for prep. And how long for the actual speaking? 45 seconds. Good. 15 seconds for prep. 45 seconds for the actual speech. Okay, so keep that in mind, folks. Right? There's not a lot of time. So you need to take quality notes, and we're going to talk about the note-taking that you need to do for that independent. Okay, 15 seconds and 45. 15-second preps, 45. Now, the things you need to do when we get into, I'm going to have you guys get into groups. When you're speaking, the first thing you need to do is what? Then make sure to add the prompt of a question in your topic. Now, wrote over here, I said prompt. The prompt is the actual question, all right? The question in your topic sentence. You know, a lot of people don't know how to form a topic sentence. You got to also think you have 45 seconds, and you have to speak within the exact time, right? So what to say? A lot of folks don't know what to say during that 45 seconds. So here's what you do. You add that piece of that question in there, and we'll see how it works. Okay, when I'll show you a question. Okay, and the second thing, remember to use discourse markers. Okay, remember what are discourse markers? Give me an example of a discourse marker. Good. Therefore, okay, first, second, good. Third, all right, okay. For example, all right, for instance, and furthermore, in addition, good job. Okay, all right, nice. Make sure all of your reasons get examples. That's my third point. Use your discourse markers, for example, for instance. I love this one, to illustrate, right? Make sure you don't forget that, guys, okay? This is going to kill your time as well. It's going to fill, not kill, more likely fill your time, all right? Show your contrasting discourse markers. Remember to summarize your points if you have time. Take your time and just breathe. You know, you got to breathe. You got lungs, you got to do it, right? Just breathe. Don't get hurt. Okay? All right. So let me show you a question. I want to show it to you. All right? So look at this question. And I'm going to put the clock up in a minute. Look at this question. newspapers, magazines, and other media pay too much attention to the personal lives of famous people such as public figures and celebrities. Okay? So what is that actually saying? You got to ask yourself. If you try to put the question in a simpler way so that you can understand it, all right? If you want to make it easier for yourself, how would you paraphrase it? Remember the word paraphrase. Remember this word? What is paraphrase? Good. Yeah, paraphrase. To state something that's previously stated in a different way. Okay? I wouldn't say Chicago is a big city in the previously stated sentence. Chicago is a big city, and then I say therefore Chicago is a big city. Is that a paraphrase statement? No. No. All right. Chicago is a big city. That's in your topic sentence, and then therefore you say you've proven it, and then therefore Chicago is huge. Chicago is a choice city, right? So get a paraphrase of the words, all right? So if I were to say in my topic sentence that I think soccer is better than baseball, so to speak, and I've proven that soccer is better than baseball, and now it comes to my conclusion, then I would, instead of saying, therefore, I think soccer is better than baseball, change it around. Therefore, as my choice in sports, I would choose the international sport of soccer over America's favorite pastime. Right? Okay, that's something I'll choose. Right? There are so many ways to say that. Right? Okay, so it's called the paraphrase. Everyone say paraphrase. Good, paraphrase. Okay, so let's start with this. All right, so I'm going to give you 15 seconds. 15 seconds, you're going to write do your preparation, write your opinions, your answers on this. I want two reasons and two examples. Give me 2 reasons, 2 examples. All right? Nothing more, nothing less. All right? Don't be lazy. All right, Abdullah, don't be lazy. All right? Really, don't be lazy. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put the clock up. Yep. I brought my clock. I have my clock. There's my clock. 15 seconds. All right. Make sure we got the sound going. Okay. All right. 15 seconds. Just writing. I'll put you in partners. Don't worry. Don't worry. And go. Writing. Coming around just to check on you. That was fast, wasn't it? 15 seconds. TOEFL speed, guys. TOEFL speed. Now remember, in the TOEFL, you can't bring your own anything. You can't bring a pencil, a pen. You can't bring a notebook. You can't bring any paper. They will provide it for you. Just bring yourselves. Bring your body. Bring your brain. Be ready to go. All right? And what's that? Oh, what if you run out? You heard the question? That was a good question. Good question. What if you don't have any? They provide the paper for you. What if you take notes and you run out of space? Then they will provide more paper for you. All you do is raise your hand. That's all you do is just raise your hand. Okay. Okay, I'm going to put 45 seconds on the clock. I'm going to put you guys in groups of 2. seconds are on the clock. You and you, I'm going to mix the cultures. I don't want the same cultures sitting together. No, I don't want you guys sitting together. I want the Japanese guy sitting next to the Saudi Arabian guy, okay? And I don't want you to, you're from Argentina and you're from Venezuela, and I don't want you two sitting together because why? Why do you think? You both speak Spanish. Come on. Okay. I want you sitting next to the Korean person, and you're going to sit next to the the German person. Okay, good. You got it. I want you sitting next to her. You're going to sit next to him. Yeah. You got it. Okay. Nice job. All right. Okay. Ready? All right. Don't forget. Remember to take notes. Like I mentioned last week, use the key words when you're taking notes. Don't try to write everything out in sentences, in full sentences. Use key words. Remember when I mentioned shorthand? Use shorthand. All right, now let's do it. Okay, 45 seconds. The first person, decide who's going to speak first. Ready? And talk. All right. Okay. Next partner. Next partner. Same topic. Same topic. You want me to show you the topic again? Okay. I'm going to show you the topic one more time. I'll show it to you. Here we go. Once again, do you agree or disagree with the following statement? Television, newspapers, magazines, and other media pay too much attention to the personal lives of famous people, such as public figures and celebrities. Use specific reasons and details to explain your opinion. Okay, so you have to use two reasons and two examples. When I was walking over there, make sure that you have an example with each reason. That's really important. Give an example with each reason. This is going to have the evaluators giving you higher marks. If you do not have your reasons exemplify any examples with your reasons, which is what I mean, then it's not going to establish any believability. They're not going to trust you, which is what I'm stating. Okay? All right. Okay. Here we go. I'm bringing the clock back. You got the question? Okay. Here we go. Clock's coming back. Ready? Go. Okay. I'm gonna ask a couple of random people, not everybody. I'm going to ask a few of you. What did your partner say? This is this is for reported speech and for listening. See how well you're listening. I want to incorporate your listening skills. Okay. There's always, there's always a method to my madness. All right. Okay. So I want you make sure that you're writing down everything that she's saying. Okay? So, and I know you're not remembering everything that he's saying either. Okay? So everybody get used to writing down notes. Taking notes is really important in TOEFL. Okay? Whether it's for speaking, even for reading, and especially for listening. Okay? Notes are essential. Okay, so moving on. Let me ask you, when I'm asking you, I want you to watch the clock as you are speaking. Okay? Watch the clock as you're speaking. Abdullah, what did Lulu say? Ready? Go. Lulu said that she was. Stop talking. Now remember, you gotta watch the clock. When you're in the TOEFL IBT, there's going to be, the clock is going to be in front of you on the screen. So get used to as you're talking, you're looking at your notes and you're looking at the clock. Looking at your notes, looking at the clock. Making eye contact with that computer is going to be really, really essential. It's going to be really important. Okay, so look at that clock, folks, as you are talking, as you're looking at those notes. It's really, really paramount. Okay? Okay. Lulu, what did Abdullah say? Ready? Go. Okay, you had a couple of minutes left to spare. And that's usually okay. In TOEFL, if you have 2 minutes to spare, that's all right. The thing is, you don't want to end your conversation, your speech, and you have 10 seconds left. If you have a situation and you have 10 seconds left, make sure that you summarize the speech. Summarize your speech, and it means you haven't said enough. Okay? With that. Okay, that's a good question. He said, teacher, what if I said all of the things that were said and I don't feel like I have to say anything anymore? Question is, ask yourself, did I use the discourse markers? Did I use first, second? Did I use for example, for instance? Did I use the prompt in my topic sentence? And did I summarize? Okay? Summarize and by paraphrasing that topic sentence. That's the big challenge. Okay? And that's going to show that you have a great command of the English language. If you can paraphrase well, that shows believability in your relationship to understanding the prompt, and it also shows that you understand the English language to the point where you understand the vocabulary. And that's really, really, really paramount. Good question. Okay, moving on. All right. Good job. We're going to keep doing this, folks. We're going to keep doing this. Let's TOEFL listening section. It's 60 to 90 minutes. All right? So you listen to about 2 to 3 conversations in that listening section. You answer about 5 questions on each conversation. So 2 to 3 conversations, 5 questions for about 2 to 3 conversations. So, so it's about 15 questions. Just about 15 questions. You listen to about 4 to 6 lectures, and 2 of them include student comments. Right? You grab the main idea, and you listen to some talks. You're going to have to answer 6 questions per lecture. We're talking about as far as the lectures are concerned. 4 to 6 lectures, about 6 questions per lecture. So we're talking about with 6 questions, with 6 lectures, and 6 questions. Yeah, about 36 questions looks like it, right? If the high end is 6, okay. It all depends upon where you go. Is it always that way? I knew you were going to ask that. Is it always 6? Sometimes it could be 4, it could be 5, 6. It all depends upon the venue, the test place. Right. Bella over there, she had taken the TOEFL, right? Now, what did you have in listening test? Do you remember? I know before I took it, they didn't waste any time with me. They gave me, I remember having 36 questions. So they were 6 lectures. So, there were about 5 or 6 for you too. Yeah, so I think it all depends upon the venue, but there'll be predominantly 6 lectures, and you'll have some student comments as well. Now, I just want to give you a note. The objective of the TOEFL listening is to measure up the student's ability to understand English as it's spoken in North American academic setting in order to adjust and adapt to North American university situations. Right? Those of you who want to go on to university of your choice in the U.S., well, you need to establish good faith that you understand the curriculum that's going to be presented in front of you. You understand what the professors are going to be talking or what they're going to be saying to you. Okay? So that's why they're going to come at you with all kinds of situations. Understanding is that if one can adapt to North American university situations, you can establish to everyone that you can adapt to any situation. Right? 2 conversations between 2 people, is usually a hard thing to do. Most folks would say, I have a hard time understanding people talking on the bus, right? So the TOEFL IBT, they came up with this way of having people recording the people having conversations and making that part of the test. You have to answer some comprehensive questions for that. You have 2 conversations between 2 people followed by 5 questions. It's usually between a student and a teacher or a university staff member. It's always something concerning a problem where there's a solution that's right there, and you usually hear it. There's always a solution, right? There's a problem, then there's a solution, right? Something you guys know that. Expect it, okay? I wrote boxer here. I'll tell you what I mean by that. You need to approach the TOEFL like a boxer, right? And what I mean by that, you have to be defensive. When you're approaching the TOEFL, like a boxer, you have to be questions yourself before the questions are asked of you. You have to ask, why are they asking you those questions? What is the significance of those questions? Okay. Who is saying this? The who, what, and where's, and why? Okay? What's that? Right. These are really important situations. These are important questions. Yeah. So it's going to help. Now, I also wrote the conversation in between the two people, the students and the professors, usually lasts a couple minutes, 2.5 minutes. Okay. And that's really important for you to know. Although when we had our warm-ups, your partners were talking for 45 seconds, and that's a warm-up for you. Some of you were doing a pretty good job. You were coasting through, but think about it. You're going to be listening to conversation between people for 2.5 minutes. Okay, so you're going to have to really dig down and take notes. This is why it's important for us to be doing these warm-ups all the time. Okay, I think the live warm-up is a quality drill that's going to be necessary in order to improve yourself. How do you feel about that warm-up? Yeah, sure. All right. There will also be some lectures with student comments and questions. All right. And the thing is, there's going to be a wide range of topics: history, art, business, science, social science. You don't have to be experts at any of those things. Now, don't panic. Don't think that you have to be an expert at any of the, you're thinking of science, it's soft science, like biology, okay? You're not going to be presented with physics or you have to know trigonometry or college AP math, AP trigonometry, or anything like that, okay? You don't really have to know, when you're thinking about history, you don't have to know the dates of the Constitution, so to speak, the U.S. Constitution. So get that out of your brain. It's mostly the facts. Whatever's stated, and they're going to ask you, what does she mean by that? Okay? Could you interpret what was said during a conversation? And those are the levels and styles of questions which would be asked. Okay? You need to have a little bit of knowledge of a variety of fields, just the basic stuff. All right? Now, when it comes to the lectures can be pretty long. It can take about 4 to 5 minutes. So, as I mentioned here, take some good notes. Take some pretty good notes. All right? I came up with some note-taking methods, as I promised before. And my note-taking method, the first note-taking method, I have my list of ideas that I call the outline method. The outline method basically where everything is you have a list of ideas in a linear form. That's linear, which is in a line, right? They're lined up, they're indented, right? You have your main idea, and then you have your subpoints, and then underneath, at an indentation, you have your example, right? That's why I call it the outline, because it's an outline, right? Your next method is the column method. This is very ideal when you're listening to the conversation. You have your source, your different sources, and you put them in the column, and then you just list whatever the information that each source is given. Let's say in the conversation between the student and the staffer or the teacher, you have S for student and you have T for teacher. opposed to writing everything out in a full sentence. They're going to be speaking